What's up, guys? So I'm trying to start up a channel again and see if I can make videos, just commentary videos, and put them out there, put my thoughts out there on whatever news and stuff that comes out. So for today, I'm trying to do Cyberpunk 2077. So what we got on that is that this game has been in development for about, what is it, like 13? No, no, 13 years? No, what? No, it was announced, I think, back in 2010, so 10 years about. Either way, the thing is, that game's been in development. Maybe it didn't exactly start developing, like they actually started making the game until way later. They're just thinking of the story and all that. But the point is that since it took so long to make this game, people would expect that it'd be the perfect and most polished games that there was, and the fact that it got delayed about like 3 or 4 times, and even at last minute too. So, I mean, as consumers, we should expect that this would be a great product. But what we ended up getting is is actually a really good single player story game, as what I would like to call it. I played it myself. I played it all the way through, but the performance was the key factor. People were mad at the fact that since it took this long, they thought it would have everything performance wise down packed. In the fact that it was made for last gen consoles, so PS4, Xbox One, it was supposed to release before any of the new consoles were out, but as soon as it was released, people were getting in the games. They bought it on PS4 and last gen because that was the main thing. Most people still have the last gen consoles. I don't know how many people bought the new gen, but I know I'm still on last gen. And the thing is, when they started playing them, they got horrible frame rate. There'd be even times where the game wasn't even playable, to the fact that one, missions would literally stop you from going forward in the game, and just everything was really bad performance wise. Textures not loading, pop in was completely terrible. You'd be driving down the street and a whole building just spawns right in front of you, and there's many bugs in the game. And they told us the fact that it was going to be worked on for the song, and they kept pushing it back and pushing it back, that hey, you know what? We're gonna try to get this game out and make it the most polished version. I know we're saying that we don't want to push it back anymore, but we're gonna push it back again. And you know what? As consumers, we're getting a little bit upset, but you know what? I kind of get it. You want to release a really good product, you want to make sure it comes out perfect, but not. It's never gonna come out perfect. People gotta learn that no game is ever gonna be the perfect game. No game is ever gonna come out with zero bugs, zero performance issues, nothing. It's just that's the reality. But the thing is, the fact that they basically neglected to show last gen console like performance or any videos. The matter of fact is that they were trying to hide something. It seems like they were trying to be slick with that, but then what were they expecting to get as soon as the game release? What happens? Oh, that people aren't just we're not going to play last gen. They're going to just move up to new gen and it's going to play fine. Even new gen is having some problem. It's not getting that good a frame rate, but it's playing it better than PS4 and Xbox One. But you know what? There's a lot of people still playing on last gen, and the fact that they said that that they're working on all these different versions of the game, and they want to make sure it's ready. That to me says that they knew what was going on with the last gen, and they were trying to make it work, but it seems like they just couldn't. And I mean, apparently, right now they are having to work on it the fact after and making it work better. And it seems like it's kind of working. It's kind of getting better, but most people are so angry they already bought the game. Some people even refunded it. So that's what we got now. So what I'm seeing here is that now, like, there's people trying to sue the company over, like investors that invest in this company and were hoping for like a payout dividend or a raise in the stock, and they got nothing. It just started going down, and pretty much the investors were like, hey, what's going on here, so they decided to take matters to their own hands and sue the company over. So that's going on right now. But there is some upside, as in the way of PC. PC is a little bit different because there can be a wide range of computers out there, from like low end tech to, like, let's say, a high end gaming PC that people can be using right now, which means that, like, let's say, a 3080, a 3070. wouldn't really have problems running it pretty well. And like more older stuff like a 1060 would be a little bit harder to run, maybe not even run very well, just like the equivalent of a PS4. But that's the reality of PC. It's just it's a wide range. But even then, 3090, one of the top line GPUs right now, is struggling to get 4K performance at without DLSS on. And the fact is, it's pretty much getting like what sub 60. And at least for when you're trying to game on a PC and when you have something that high end, you're expecting to get like 60 plus on 4K. But the fact that it can barely reach that without DLSS, I get DLSS is pretty much needed for it, but most games don't have like DLSS enabled or have it or as an option. So it should be running at, its base processing power just going well like that, but it's not. So I don't know what's going on there. They couldn't even optimize some of the best, performance GPUs out there. So I guess not. So it seems like we got here is just like a company trying to do its best, promising the best hopes. Even a company just that made The Witcher 3, we're like, oh, we're praising it for having such a good game that they didn't have to monetize it and be like an EA. They released a great game. It really was, but the fact that it that they release Cyberpunk in the way of this and pretty much try to hide the fact that last gen wasn't playing well, it's kind of scummy. I can see why people are trying to review bomb this game. I mean, so far the actual game itself is like actually pretty good. If you've played the game, then you would know that the game is actually not that bad. Game plays really good. Story is really nice. I finished all the way through. I didn't do quite all the side missions, but I did. You finish the main missions and you get to see what happens. I personally liked it. It was a good game. It was a little bit harder to run on my computer, but uh, it sucks that like even me with a 3070 here, that it's still hard to run. But luckily, I'm only running it on 1080p. I tried, so I bought it on PS4 as well, and yeah, it's not playable. At least for my standards, I definitely wouldn't play that. The way it looks, the way it runs, just no, we're not doing that. So, what else can you say about this? It seems like they just dug themselves a hole. Hopefully, they can try to get themselves out of it. I don't know how well they're going to do about this, but it seems like what they were trying to do is just fix pieces little by little, like how let's say other companies do this, where they release a game and like they get all this flack and all that for not being as good as it comes. So they try fixing the game after the fact that they got all their money, they released it, and so they're just kind of fixing it over time, like No Man's Sky. Like that, when that came out, it was horrible. Pretty much, it was like nothing to do in the game, and it released pretty much like just kind of walking simulator, I guess. Planet travel walking simulator. There was nothing to do, but I had recently learned what was actually going on with the company, that they had to kind of release it early. They had to like they kind of were given no choice to uh, put all the things they wanted to. They really did want to put all these things, and they eventually did. Like if you see No Man's Sky right now, it's a completely different game. It may be even better than it was promised. It has like it runs really well, it plays well, and there's a lot to do in that game. You can actually play with people now, but as it comes, like when it first came out, of course people are gonna shit on it. What else can you do? But for now, like the game is fine. But at least that game, if I think I remember correctly, it wasn't running too well on last gen. It was I think it was pretty bad. But they definitely optimized that, so it run fine. But Cyberpunk, what are they gonna do? Just work on the game, make it better. Yeah, I heard they're gonna try to release DLC for the game, which sure, I'll take that. I could add more story to it. And I remember them promising like multiplayer, like a long time ago. Like I remember hearing that, but it wasn't something they're working on. And also first person, third person, but that definitely never came. Like I don't see any options. I doubt anybody sees that they can get first person and third person working on there. There is some people working on the game like by themselves, as in people trying to get like a tool to work to make it so you can get at least 30 FPS, like a 30 FPS uplift to the game, which is cool. If they can't do it, I guess take matters in your own hands and do it yourself. But that's Cyberpunk 2077. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you like and subscribe. Thank you guys.